You'd think that now that hemp is legal, everything would be, well, simple, right? But it turns out that's not the case at all. In fact, right now, there's a huge legislative battle brewing in Washington, D.C., that is going to define the future of the entire hemp industry. So, here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll set the stage for this high-stakes battle. Then we're going to dig into the two very different visions for hemp's future, put the actual bills head-to-head, and finally, try to figure out what's next.
All right, let's dive right in. Section 1, Hemp's High-Stakes Battle.
It's a great question, isn't it? I mean, this crop has been federally legal for years, so why is it suddenly causing this much drama in Congress? Well, the problem is, the original law that legalized it left a lot of gray areas, and the industry has been innovating in those gray areas ever since. And this isn't about some minor little tweak to the rules. No way. We are looking at two fundamentally different, competing visions for what hemp should even be, and each one is backed by its own powerful piece of legislation. So let's get into our second section and look at the first of these two visions. This one is all about giving farmers and producers a lot more breathing room. This idea is really championed by a bill called the Hemp Act. And its main goal, its whole purpose, is to shield farmers and businesses from what its supporters call these overly restrictive rules that just make growing hemp way harder than it needs to be. And this is the big one. The single biggest change in the Hemp Act is right here, raising the legal THC limit for the raw plant from a super strict 0.3% all the way up to a much more manageable 1.0%. Now, for farmers, this is absolutely huge. It gives them a real margin of error so an entire crop isn't ruined just because of a tiny, natural spike in THC levels. But it's not just about the THC limit, you know. The Hemp Act also wants to clear up the rules for shipping hemp across state lines, and it puts the government on a clock, forcing them to update their regulations within 90 days. It's really a full package deal designed to boost the agricultural side of things. Okay, let's completely switch gears for Section 3 and look at the other vision, which is pretty much the polar opposite. This one isn't about the farm at all. It's about the final product that you might buy in a store. This other idea is actually tucked inside a big, must-pass government funding bill, S-2848. And its mission is the exact reverse of the Hemp Act. It wants to clamp down, to tighten the rules, and shut down the loopholes that have let all these unregulated, intoxicating hemp products flood the market. So how exactly does it plan to do that? Well, it introduces a brand new concept called total THC. And this is really the key. Instead of just measuring that one famous type of THC, Delta-9, this would require measuring all the similar intoxicating compounds, things like Delta-8 THC, which you've probably seen everywhere. And by using this total THC yardstick, the bill sets an incredibly low limit, just 0.4 milligrams per product. The goal here is pretty clear. It's designed to effectively ban a huge chunk of the hemp-derived gummies, drinks, and vapes that are out there right now. It also pushes the FDA to finally create some real rules about packaging and labeling. The potential impact here is just massive. As one of the bill's biggest opponents, Senator Rand Paul, put it very bluntly, this proposal would devastate the hemp industry. And that one quote, man, it really tells you just how high the stakes are for thousands of businesses. Okay, so we've looked at both sides. Now, for Section 4, let's actually put these two proposals right up against each other. This is where it gets really interesting. And when you lay it all out like this, the difference is just crystal clear. The Hemp Act is all about protecting farmers. The other bill is all about restricting products. One measures THC as a percentage of the plant, the other measures it in tiny milligrams in the final product you hold in your hand. And that core difference, plant versus product, that is everything. These are two completely different philosophies clashing. So, let's get to our final section and ask the big question. With two such different roads ahead, where does the hemp industry actually go from here? At the end of the day, these two bills really do represent two divergent futures. On path one, hemp is treated just like corn or soy, an agricultural commodity, where the focus is all on the farmer. But on path two, it's treated more like a pharmaceutical or a supplement, a consumer product, where the focus is all on public safety and strict, tight limits. And it's so important to remember this isn't just some abstract debate happening in DC over percentages and milligrams. The choice that Congress makes here is going to directly affect the livelihoods of thousands of American farmers and small business owners. It's going to fundamentally redefine what a legal hemp product even is. Which leaves us all with the final critical question that lawmakers are wrestling with right now. For an industry this new, this innovative, and this dynamic, where exactly do you draw the line between encouraging that innovation and ensuring strong protective regulation? The answer they come up with is going to shape this entire industry for a generation to come.